Hey, this is the World Advice Channel 2. What I want to talk about today is a topic of what would happen if China became a superpower, okay? So for this video, I'm going to discuss the most realistic, biased way what would happen if China became a superpower, as well as a lesson there is to learn from this particular video topic, okay? So if you're interested in knowing what would happen if China became a superpower, then watch this video in order to find out. So now I mention that, let's get started. So when it comes to the topic of what happened power, simply put it will be an absolute bomb. Okay? I'm just gonna be upfront with you and no, I'm not anti-Chinese, I'm not xenophobic, I'm just gonna it will be an absolute bomb. And the reason why I say that is simply not the fact that China obsession with censorship, their obsession with guessed it, okay. You guessed it, okay, to be honest with you. Of course, your views on human rights, yada yada yada. The truth of the matter is, if the world was actually first of all, when it comes to China, the first thing that obviously is that there's gonna be no real, of course, real human rights anymore. Okay, like the ability for people to record things and say that they're not happy with the state of the world and stuff, and talk about, oh well, the government's doing this and the government's doing that. As freedom of speech and being able to say what the fuck you want to say, that's gonna be done overnight. Okay, China, if it becomes a superpower, of course. Just like how America has become a superpower, has been a superpower for all my life, and we can see the effects of it in people like me in the United States, we can still obviously see the fucking opposite effects of American superpower, which is that America, no shit, as superpower, it affects their day-to-day lives. It's the reason why a lot of Canadians, like myself, have people in our nation who go fly overseas. It affects a lot of us on a day-to-day basis. Food we eat, even the places we eat at, most of them are American, and it's us on a day-to-day basis are affected by, of course, Americans. Okay, the Americans. What they do affects the whole world. If something goes on in the United States, it affects everyone. It's not one of those places they can have like sometimes terrible situation happen. I know, but something bad happens in America, there might be a riot or something that might happen. Maryland, like a really bad situation in Maryland or something, or the American government is, or in Silicon Valley, then guess what? Your internet might shut off, okay? So the point is, as you can obviously tell, shit, obviously common sense 101, okay? Whatever happens in America affects the whole world in one way, whether it's policies or this and that, it affects America. So obviously, if China wants to obviously do something about something, like when it comes to censorship rules and stuff, it will affect everybody in one way, shape, or form. And there's no two ways about it. Everyone will be affected. If they want to, obviously, censor the media and censor the things that they're doing in other countries, like China's doing, that's wrong. They're going to censor it. And of course, we're not going to say, okay, we're only going to censor it for things related to China. We're going to say we're going to censor things in general. We're not saying that, we're just going to censor things for when we talk about China and not other things. It simply makes no sense. We're going to censor the whole world or restrictions on what we can look at. It will not be a pleasant world in that way. You won't enjoy it right now, and it will suffer. Okay? The second thing also, that is going to be, of course, a lot more controversial, but let's keep it real, is that racism will not get any better. I think we'll get a lot worse and a lot more terrible than you ever will. Especially, as you can see, me being a black person and other people. Chinese people, a lot of them do not like them. And a lot of the Chinese government is trying to colonize Africa. And not just colonize Africa, they're trying to colonize other places in the world, like Latin America and so on and so forth, and just trying to fuck them up, okay? That's another thing that China is doing that's wrong, and they've been caught doing it, and everybody, I think, is kind of aware of it. No one's hiding their opinion. Everyone knows they're trying to do some fucked up shit. So they're going to make racism and issues and like that get even worse. And since China is a communist nation, you know, no matter how much they try to spin it, they are a communist nation. Truth be told, I'm certain you're also smart enough to know that a lot of their population are very narrow-minded. They're not very open-minded. They're not as well educated as parts of the world. So if the Chinese government just puts out information that says black people or this group of people are all bad, they're all gonna believe. Or at least they're way more likely to all believe. Because in China, unlike other countries, they don't provide two sides of the story. They only provide one side of the story. So if the government says, "Oh, we're not happy with black people," the government says, "I mean, they put out this information, oh, black people are bad," then guess what? The propaganda is going to be terrible, and it's going to get even worse, and it's going to get really ugly. Okay, so if China runs the world, when it comes to racism, whether it's against Africans, Tibetans, Uyghurs, every population in the world, it will be way worse. So if you ever rebel, think of a rebellion that will spread propaganda in home country, I will make it the hatred against you probably from the things that happen in America, especially in America itself, at this point, which will be a part of the distant past, if anything. People will be reading history books, not living in right now. They're trying to become superpower in the next 10 years, you know, they will make the things that those people did look like a walk in a park. Like, holy shit. Now, we're talking about not only a billion people, but a billion people that are all trained to hate your ass and have internet access. So, yeah, it's not going to be a pleasant experience at all. So that's another thing to mention. And the third one, of course, that should surprise nobody, is of course how they handle resources. In China, when they handle resources, as we all know, are not the greatest at handling resources, okay? First and foremost, when you look at the state of China itself as a nation, all of their wildlife, if they have any, pretty much, is all dead, okay? First and foremost, all their lakes, like the Yangtze River that they used to help make the civilization in the past, and still even to this very day is racially polluted. All the wildlife, pretty much every wildlife you can imagine in China is extinct, is close to extinction, if not on the verge, straight up extinct. That's even slightly large because they eat everything, pretty much. They also just do things that destroys the natural environment to keep the world up. Now we're talking about people not only do those things, but now they're superpowers, so now they can go to other countries and kill all the animals. Like they were going to Africa not that long ago and killing a lot of animals there. They're going to go to Latin America, do the same thing. Europe, other parts of Asia, do the same thing. They're just going to fuck up everything. You know, to answer all that shit. And not only are we talking about a nation that consists of like, America that has like 300 million people or something, and even they looking at them how they had on the world as a whole. We're talking about people that literally have 3 times and more as much as America, 3, 6, 9, and more. You know, and they're just going to deplete the resources. Not to mention, unlike America, they at least have some resource restrictions or more like environmental protections. They don't have any at all. So the world's going to fall apart really badly, and it's going to run out of resources. Because now, honestly, you're talking about a nation that has over 1 billion people that will look at how America lives and will think, why can't we live like dumb? You know, which is already a disaster waiting to happen. In the first place, they're also going to not have the same resource depletion, you know, management that the West has. They're going to deplete the resources and eat up all the food, and even eat up a lot of that wildlife animals, just kill everything, destroy the world. It will not be a pretty world, to be honest. No matter how you look at it, in honesty, no two ways about it, it's not going to be a pretty world to be really fun. Okay? And that is all the shit that will happen in China. I'm not saying it'll become super, it's going to get really rough. Okay? So the lesson that there is about this is that sometimes people want something better, you know, like people want better realism, but sometimes just because you want something that, you know, that is better doesn't mean you'll get something better. Sometimes you'll get something you want, okay? Because a lot of people are not happy with America, but without America, the only solution is really China. And when you look at it, no matter how bad America's issues are, compared to how life would be like if China's superpower, would be even worse, okay? And that's the honest truth here. So to sum things up, without a shadow of a doubt, America should stay a world power for now, because I don't think China really has it enough to be a superpower, let alone China should never become a superpower. And that's the honest truth. So anyway, this is my video. This is all to say. I hope you learned something. And just remember, if you like this video, remember to thumbs video up and hit the subscribe button and simply put them out. So bye.